All right, y'all. Thank you for joining another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network. I'm your host, Wise Broussard, RPN Community Manager, and y'all know it already, podcast enthusiast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at REVOLT Podcast Network and on Twitter at REVOLT Podcast. Now, y'all, listen. You already know I got one thing to ask as soon as we start every single episode. Please subscribe to Behind the Mic wherever you get your podcasts. Listen, please, and give us 5 stars. We will really, really, really appreciate it. Now, today's episode, I'm here with another great brother from the REVOLT Podcast Network, NéAndré from the Check-In with Black Menswear Podcast. Thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Nah, man, thank you for having me, Wise. It's been a long time coming, bro.
You already know it. But thank you for coming on. So tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about your podcast.
So I am NéAndré Broussard. I'm the founder of Black Menswear, which is a Black male global movement empowering Black men through brotherhood, through community service, through representation, through content, storytelling. Just really being able to put those stories out that actually amplify and champion our community, the successes that we have. Our podcast on the REVOLT Podcast Network is the Check-In with Black Menswear, where we have the privilege to have conversations with a lot of movers and shakers from our community and just get some nuggets, man. Just be able to tap in to people like Ryan Clark of the Pivot Podcast, to JB Smooth, comedian, to Grammy-nominated artists like Tank and Avant. Just being able to tap into these gentlemen, and not to belittle anyone else that we've also had on the podcast, but just being able to tap into these gentlemen and really get things from their mindset that other brothers and other men and women in our community can relate to, just as a way to keep us motivated and keep us pushing forward.
That's incredible. That's a great start, y'all. So y'all already know you're going to get some good stuff this episode. Trust me. But for y'all new folks, you might not know this, but we like to start with the tunes. So we have a playlist called the B-Sides Track of the Week. Now, this playlist is available exclusively on Spotify, where you can listen to all of our guests' favorite songs at any point in time. So B-side tracks to me are songs that aren't really that popular, but are just as good as A-side songs. So, NéAndré, give me one B-side track that you want to share with us today.
Oh, let me see. A B-side track for me would probably be, I'm going to keep it right here with Big X the Plug coming out of Dallas, and I'm probably going to go with Change Me. You know what I said? Just got to represent for right here. Big X is on his thing right now. Everybody knows the song Texas. Everybody knows The Largest, but Change Me, man, like, I ain't gonna let everything that's out here, y'all think, what y'all think gonna happen, they gonna happen. I ain't gonna let none of this change me. Like, I love that.
Hey, I love that. Okay, y'all. And again, you can find that playlist and that song on Spotify, exclusively on Spotify. Just search for B-Sides Track of the Week. All right. So now we know a little bit about you in front of the mic. Now talk about the person behind the mic. Who is NéAndré at home? I get a chance to see you on IG all the time. You have a beautiful family. You're out there in Dallas, man. Talk to me about who you are.
Man, I am a husband, married to Erica. We've been married 11 years now, going on 12. I'm father of Noah and Micah. At the Broussard Bros at Instagram. Go ahead, get them boys a follow. We try to get that platform up. I am the son of a military veteran, of an entrepreneur mother, the youngest of all the siblings. And I'm just extremely grateful, man. A servant of Christ. I'm very much focused on the fact that I'm here because God has put all of these things in front of me as a vision that he gave that I'm now living through, and just want to make sure that I always keep my focus on him. I'm a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the Noops. I'm an SMU alum here in Dallas. I am a product of a PWI that's always repping for Black people. And it just, just a big proponent of community, man. From jump, I've always been somebody that really thrived off of the betterment of others. I was one of those people that, even at a young age, it was very important for me that those that were around me, when I was out of their, like after I left their presence, they felt better about themselves after being in my presence. And that really kind of resonated to the platform that we have. It really kind of embodies that, of being able to just assist, connect people. I love being a connector. I love being able to help people that are underrepresented to come to the forefront and have their stories told and championed. But that's just me through and through, man. I like all of that. Like, all that you see about the community and that stuff, like, that's real. That's really who I am. I love being able to motivate and inspire and help people, because for me, like, I was always around, I was fortunate enough, I was always around people that poured into me. And so I was never around a consistently negative environment. And then when I did come across those things as I got older, I was like, well, this ain't the space for me. You know what I mean? Because I was reared to find the positivity, find the light. And then if you can't find the light, be the light. You know what I'm saying? So that's honestly me through and through.
That's incredible. And what I'm recognizing from all these episodes of Behind the Mic is that most times what you see, I would say 99% of the times, what you see is what you get with all the podcasters here. So I really appreciate that. So with that being said, though, what's one side of you that people don't often get to see?
I don't know if it's necessarily a side of me. Like, all right. I'll be honest, because my wife's going to be like, really? I'm a anti-social socialite, if that makes any sense. Like...
I'm with you, bro.
I enjoy, and that's crazy, because like I enjoy being around people until I'm over it. And then when I'm over it, written all over my face, you couldn't tell that. Like, you come to my events or anything like that, I'm always going to make you feel as though I'm always going to attempt my very best to make everybody feel welcome. Now, if I go to somebody else's stuff, once I'm ready to go, I'm ready to be up out, and my wife be like, dang, give me 10 more minutes. I'm like, all right. And I'm sitting there looking like I'm ready to go. But that would be one of the things that a lot of people probably would, like, they doubt that, probably wouldn't believe it. But if I don't feel like being social today, I stay at the crib. I'll throw the ball with the boys. I'll watch TV with the wife, and I don't got to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that, because, I also can resonate with you. I would like to tell people, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, now we know a little bit more about NéAndré. On the other side of this break, we are kicking into overdrive with our rapid fire game right after this. I've always wanted to have the opportunity to talk to each of you individually. And guess what? Now I can, thanks to Fanlist. You can now visit fanlist.com/podcast with an S and leave us a voicemail. Share your thoughts, your favorite moments, and even shout out a host that inspires you. Who knows? You might even hear your voice in the podcast. So visit fanlist.com/podcast with an S to get started. I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all.
We have big feelings for Fridays. Is it because Fridays also mean free fries at McDonald's? Free McDonald's fries. It's okay if you need a minute. Free Fries Friday. Get free medium fries with any $1 purchase. Valid one time on Fridays through 12/31/25. At participating McDonald's. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
And we're back, y'all. Thanks for sticking around. And now we're kicking it into overdrive with a rapid fire round of What Would You Do? NéAndré, are you ready?
I hope so.
All right, y'all. Starting in 3, 2, 1. What would you do if your brand got dragged on Twitter for something you didn't do?
Sometimes you don't even got to address some craziness. You just keep doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is impacting the right people at the right time.
What would you do if you were invited to attend the Met Gala with a top designer?
I would crush. What? I would step. Oh, that's God. You know what's on my heart. Let me come to the point gala. I will come stepping, double-breasted, wide flared pants.
I believe it. Literally, I would say the two most stylish men that are on this podcast network right now, or that I've interviewed so far, it's you, NéAndré, and it's a guy named Cabello Moremi from the Sobering Podcast.
Okay,
the two of y'all need to get together and just have conversation. Y'all are both hella stylish. On his episode, he said by the time he's 70, he wants to be the flyest 70-year-old man ever. Yeah. And I feel like you are along that same path.
Nice.
But yeah, before we end this episode, what's one thing that people need to know about you that they won't get from listening to the podcast?
I think one of the most important things to know about us is that, what you see in the Black Menswear movement is really more along the lines of our B2C, right? It's us developing the community, business consumer, finding a safe space for Black men to grow and to develop. But what a lot of times you don't see is our agency on the back end. So we have an agency that's BMW Digital. It is a cultural impact agency. We work from brands from small all the way up to Fortune 500 to help them to strategize on community-driven initiatives through content development, through storytelling, through influencer. We have about 40 creators that are our influencer roster that we're helping to broker and negotiate deals on behalf of, so that way their stories can be told. Because our goal every year is to really inject more revenue, not just into our business, which we take all the revenue that comes this way, but also inject revenue into the pockets of Black creators. And so really being able to do that is a proud thing for us, that we've built this business that is allowing for others to step into their greatness through their content development, through storytelling, and then allowing them to work with some of their favorite brands, just as we are.
I feel the passion and the sense of community coming out of you. And I just want to thank you so much for what you're doing. And thank you for joining us on the episode of Behind the Mic, man. Tell us where they can find you on socials.
Yes, man. So you can follow the movement at Black Menswear. No spaces, no period, just at Black Menswear. You can go to blackmenswear.com. You can also go to follow our agency page at bmw.digital. So that way, you can find out more about what opportunities we have to work with creators or work with the organizations or businesses. You can also follow me personally at Mr. spelled out Mister Broussard, Broussard. And, honestly, you got to subscribe to the Check-In podcast. We're getting ready to go into season 4. Very excited about season 4. And just tune in, listen in, get some nuggets, get some gems. But just, follow us on every platform you can. YouTube, we on there too, Black Menswear. Just Google search Black Menswear and follow all the pages.
Y'all better do that. And you can find it at listen.revolt.tv.
Absolutely.
But again, y'all, thank you again for listening to another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network. I'm your host, Wise Grisette. You can find me at The Real Wise on Instagram and Twitter, formerly known as X. I'm internationally known on the microphone as Wiz, Wizzy, and Wise, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network, is hosted by me, Wise Grisette. Special thanks to the Indie Creative Network and Storytime Studios for editing and producing this podcast.
Get the Angel Reese special at McDonald's now. Let's break it down. My favorite barbecue sauce, American cheese, crispy bacon, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun, of course. And don't forget the fries and a drink. Sound good? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating restaurants for a limited time.